The amazing bison comeback story you never knew. Have you ever felt like nature has secrets it's been dying to share with us? Well, sit tight, because the story you're about to hear might just blow your mind. Imagine standing on a vast open plain, wind in your hair. The earth starts rumbling under your feet. You look up, and there it is. A wall of brown fur, thousands, no millions of buffalo moving as one. It's like thunder on four legs. This wasn't a fantasy, this was real. The American bison once ruled this land, 60 million of them. They weren't just animals, they were everything, a keystone of the ecosystem, a sacred partner to countless indigenous tribes. To the Lakota, the Blackfeet, the Cheyenne, these weren't just buffalo, they were life, food, shelter, clothing, culture, spirit. Their hides became teepees, their meat, survival, even their bones were turned into tools. Nothing went to waste. That's real ecological balance. That's respect. But then came the twist. In the blink of a historical eye, they were almost all gone. We're talking from 60 million down to barely a few hundred. You might ask, how could that happen? Well, you're about to find out. So stay with me, because this isn't just a wildlife documentary. This is one of the most unbelievable comeback stories in the animal kingdom, the kind that makes wildlife enthusiasts, conservationists, and history buffs all lean in. Buffalo, bison, history, tragedy, survival, all of it, we're diving deep. The Great Slaughter. When the plains went silent. Let's rewind to the 1800s. The westward expansion of settlers wasn't just about wagons and gold rushes. It was also about wiping out the heart of the land. And that heart? The bison. Buffalo hides became a hot commodity. Factories back east wanted leather belts. Rug makers wanted soft fur. Hunters? They wanted quick cash. One hunter could kill over 100 bison a day, just for the hide and tongue. The rest? Left to rot. It gets worse. This wasn't just greed, it was strategy. Military leaders realized, kill the bison, and you starve the native tribes. Break their spirit, push them onto reservations. That's exactly what happened. By 1889, fewer than 600 wild bison remained in the U.S. Yellowstone had just 24 left. The thundering herds, gone. What replaced them? Silence. The plains became a graveyard, bones piled high, ecosystems collapsed, cultures shattered. But wait, even in this darkness, something unexpected was about to spark. Because just when you think all hope is lost, someone shows up with a plan. Buffalo, bison, ecological balance, wildlife enthusiasts, bison history. This story was far from over. From the ashes, the first rescuers. Ever heard of the phrase, against all odds? This is where it fits perfectly. A few ranchers, not scientists, not government agents, regular folks, looked at the last surviving buffalo and said, "We can't let this be the end." So what did they do? They started collecting them, raising small herds on private land. It was clumsy, it was risky, but it worked. Then came Theodore Roosevelt. Yeah, the Rough Rider himself. He was horrified by what he saw. In 1905, he helped form the American Bison Society. Their mission? Bring bison back from the brink. And guess who else joined the effort? The U.S. Army. Yep, the same ones who helped destroy them. In Yellowstone, soldiers began guarding the last wild herd from poachers. Tiny herds were started in places like Oklahoma, Montana, and South Dakota. Just a few animals at first. But they were the seeds of something massive. These were the first steps in wildlife conservation before it was even a trend. It wasn't perfect. The genetics were limited. The challenges were endless. But these heroes kept going, and slowly, the buffalo began to return. Buffalo, bison comeback, conservation success, wildlife restoration. This was just the beginning. The comeback, how bison heal the land. Okay, picture this. You take a piece of land that's been overgrazed, eroded, dried out. It looks like nature gave up. Now drop in a herd of bison. Boom. Everything starts changing. Here's why. Bison don't graze like cows. They chomp, stomp, and move on. That patchy grazing pattern lets wildflowers bloom, birds nest, insects thrive. When bison roll in the dirt, they make wallows, little dips that hold rainwater and become ponds for frogs and bugs. Their poop? Yeah, it's fertilizer gold. Their hooves? They till the soil better than a tractor. In Kansas, a 30-year study showed that land with bison doubled its plant diversity compared to land with cattle. Even in drought years, prairies with bison held strong. Why? Because these shaggy giants know how to work the land. It turns out the best solution for our damaged grasslands might be four-legged, furry, and a little shaggy. And this comeback? It's not just ecological, it's deeply human. The spiritual return, what the buffalo means today. For many indigenous nations, the return of the buffalo isn't just about ecology, it's about healing. Imagine generations growing up without the animal that once defined their entire way of life. Now imagine that animal coming home. That's what's happening. Tribes across the US and Canada are working to bring buffalo back to tribal lands. They call it rematriation. It's not just about restoring the land, it's about restoring identity, language, ceremonies, pride. Over 85 tribal nations now manage herds. That's around 20,000 bison on more than 1 million acres. One buffalo release isn't just an animal returning home, it's a ceremony, a celebration, a reminder of what was and what can still be. This is wildlife conservation, this is cultural revival, this is legacy of bison journey. And you? You just witnessed one of the greatest comebacks in natural history. So next time you hear a low rumble in the distance, remember, it might just be the thunder of 1,000 hooves returning to the land that missed them. Thanks for watching. If you learned something new, give it a like and share it with a friend. And don't forget to subscribe for more amazing wildlife stories. Because the amazing bison comeback story you never knew isn't just about the buffalo. It's about nature, survival, and second chances. These bison helped shape an entire continent. They were nearly lost, but not forgotten. Their return shows us the power of ecological balance, respect, and hope. Whether you're a nature lover, a history buff, or a curious soul, this bison journey has something for you. Thanks again for being part of this wildlife enthusiast community. We'll see you in the next nature documentary. Until then, stay curious and stay inspired.